You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Today on our Friday review, I want to bring you a little bit of advice, a little bit of reviewing on nutrition, some mindset, and then also a nutritional supplement that a lot of people have been asking me to review and give my opinion on. So I'm happy to do that today and when this nutritional supplement might be best used. So first, let's get into a trend that's getting literally more and more popular every single year. I see cookbooks on it now, and it's amazing because literally all it's called, you'll know exactly what it is once I say it, is called Meat-Free Mondays, which just means this. For one full day per week, every Monday, you will not eat any meat. So what people are trying to do in the UK and the US, and I think Australia as well, is raise awareness, raise consciousness, not only about eating less meat, but also on essentially organic farming, farming in general, sustainability, greenhouse gas effects, the environment, all of these different things where it's not just about your nutrition, it's also just being about more aware of everything around you. And if you haven't seen any documentaries, if you haven't read anything about how really one of the reasons why there's so many environmental based issues in terms of, yes, pesticides, in terms of GMOs, in terms of antibiotics, in terms of all these things, is because they're being fed to all of the livestock. And the methane gas and a lot of the runoff as well into the water comes from these large agriculture farms, which again, are very detrimental to our environment. I'm going to go into that today. What I'm trying to say is have a little fun with this. I know that everyone, even the staunchest paleo person, can enjoy one day a week without eating any meat. It's also a nice little challenge. I love giving people challenges. So what does it mean? It means that you're going to go on every Monday, ideally, or just try one Monday. Try maybe this coming Monday of no meat. And it's so much simpler than you think. If you've done the Dr. Ball Detox before, you know how easy it is to wake up. You can do a smoothie, or just, my lifestyle plan in general is essentially wake up, do a smoothie. You can use the daily all-in-one, which is just called daily nutritional support. You can do that. You can do some greens powder if you want. That's going to be your protein. That's going to be your smoothie. You put some frozen berries in there, some like blueberries. It's fantastic. We have so many recipes there. Obviously, just go to stephencabral.com and you can download the free report. Then for lunch, you're going to have a salad or some sweet potatoes and some asparagus and some whatever you would like. And then add some hemp hearts. Hemp hearts are one of my favorite proteins out there. They're not hemp seeds. They've been sprouted. They've been popped. And it allows for so much more easy digestibility. I'm a big fan of hemp hearts. I don't love all the little seeds unless they've been ground, just because in my practice, I work with people with so many digestive-based issues that they're just not able to break them down as well as I would like them to be. Again, can they be good for other people? Yes, but I prefer them to be a little bit more broken down. You can do black beans at dinner. You can do hummus. You can do all sorts of different things as you want as your protein. Again, vegetables, sweet potatoes. You can do some sprouted rice. You can do whatever you would like. It's so much easier than you would think. Again, for mid-afternoon snack, you can do guacamole and some cut-up veggies. That works. You can do some hummus, cut-up veggies. You can do a cup of fruit. You can do another smoothie. That's why I talk about a vegan-based diet. But even if you're doing meat-free, well, then you could do some fish. You could do some eggs if you want. But really, I would still consider that meat. Let's try to just do a completely vegan-based day. And I think you can do that. I know that you can do it. It's so much easier than you would think. And not only are you doing a great thing for your own health, just to give your digestion a little bit of a rest, just a little calming down, because we know that meat does take more digestive strength. So just give your body a rest on a Monday. That's great. You could pick any day, of course, but it's called Meat-Free Monday. And so that's what I wanted to bring to you, give you that little challenge. And then if you want, you can go back to eating meat that next day. So really simple, really straightforward. I don't think I need to talk too much more about it than that, but I do recommend that challenge. I want you to try it out for yourself, and I think that you really enjoy it. And of course, you can read more about it online just by simply going to Meat Free Monday. See all the celebrities that take part in it if you care. I don't. You can look at that as well, and you can, there's all sorts of cookbooks, but really all you need is a simple guide like the one I laid out. You don't need things that are complicated. People always ask me all these complicated questions. I say, say, just make it so much easier for yourself. Honestly, it doesn't have to be that complicated. It can be much easier. All right, number 2, what's our second on our list today? Our second is a book. It's a book called Ask and It Is Given. It's called Learning to Manifest Your Desires. It's by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Now, this is a New York Times best-selling book. It's sold well over 1 million copies, well over that. So I don't want to downplay it at all. 1 million copies is an enormous number as well, but this is sold at least that much. And the only reason, not the only reason, it's a great book. And again, I love to read, and I enjoyed reading this book as well. So I kind of go on my own little paths and tangents as well with my reading. And sometimes I'll read 5 or 6 based mindset books in a row, or psychology-based books. The reason I wanted to bring this to you is it's a very specific mindset. And I'm not sure if this mindset would serve you or not. That's why I wanted to share it with you. It's this. It's that sometimes during therapy and psychology, and if you're going to see a therapist in general, you'll often be asked to bring up previous hardships in your life, or talk about what isn't going well. Talk about things in your past that have kind of limited you and held you back. What they're saying, and a lot of people as well, they're not the only ones, but I want to bring this to you and see if it serves you, is that when you focus on the negatives in your life, you seem to get more negative. You seem to see the negative of many different things. And when you stop talking about all the bad stuff that's happened in your life, and you start to focus on more of the positive things of what you do want, you start to see possibilities. Meaning that's what they do call a law of attraction, but it's a little bit different. Meaning that if you're always focused on negative, you miss opportunities in life. You miss the people, you miss the emails, you miss the whatever, because your tone is different. Like your mindset's different. So you don't see it in the same way. You miss the opportunities because you're not looking for them because you're focused on the negative. When you're focused on the positives about how can I achieve X, whatever that goal is, and I've talked about this before in my Motivation and Mindset Mondays, is when you're focused on achieving that goal, you start to see possibilities. You start to think more about how can I achieve that, and that opens you up. And I think that's really, really important as well. I'm going to be talking about this more on this coming Monday on the Motivation and Mindset Monday. So I believe it's going to be how to open your mind to more of these things. And I will be chatting about that as well. But I wanted to bring this book to you, but more I wanted to bring the idea to you. So if you've been doing counseling for years and you're still not better, maybe it's time to try a different approach. I enjoy cognitive behavioral therapy. I enjoy NLP. I enjoy all these different types of psychology and therapy, and I've read hundreds of books on them, and I think that they're all fantastic. Because in my practice, remember, I have to work with people who are the sickest of the sickest. They can't lose weight. They're just not happy in general. And I need to make sure that I can put them on a plan that I know is going to work for them. And I know it will. But the problem is I need to make sure that they follow through with it. So there's a whole lot of psychology to what I do to try to help people to help themselves. That's really what it's about. I know the plan. I know the nutrition. I know the nutritional supplements, whether they run a lab or not. I can help them. But I need them to literally want to help themselves. And sometimes when you're stuck in the victim-based mentality, and believe me, it takes one to know one, and I was that person, you need to somehow unstuck yourself. You need to get out of that. And again, I like books like this because it's a different way of thinking. It's a different way of reframing yourself. And they talk about things at a quantum-based level, a vibrational-based level. And when you're focused on negative, your vibration is actually different than when you're focused on positive, making things happen. And your frequency changes. And again, since we're atoms, since we're quarks, all these tiny, tiny little molecules, and basically we're negative space. The space of our bodies, or the mass we see, is literally less than 99.999%. That's us. So it's really interesting when you look at that and the frequency of things and the vibration. I'm not going to get into that today, but it's my way of thinking. And again, it's not that you can never, let me use a double negative here. It's not that you can never think negatively. You can, but you can only use that as a way to express what you do not want in order to get what you do want. So you're again back focused on what it is that you do want out of life, because what happened to you in the past is not serving you now. You do need to learn from it, absolutely, but you cannot dwell on it, which means you just can't fixate on it. It happened. You can think about it. You can learn from it. You can make sure it never happens again, but it has happened, and now it's time to move forward. And again, easier said said than done. I understand that, and I'm not making light of any situation that you are in right now. And it takes time. That's the other thing as well. It does not happen overnight. But again, if this sounds like you, if this sounds like maybe you would resonate with something like this, I recommend it. I really do. And again, I only bring you books really that I recommend. It's called Ask and It Is Given, Learning to Manifest Your Desires. I'll link it up in the show notes. I'll link it up right to Amazon. So just go to stephencabral.com/406. You will get the recommendation. And I think that one of the nice things is they give you different processes in the back of the book. So in the back of the book, they tell you wherever you're at right now, like there's, I think, 20 levels of feeling. Whatever level of feeling you're at right now in terms of like super positive, feeling joy all the time, to just really depressed, apathetic. And it tells you how to just move up one level. That in and of itself is gold. It really is, because it tells you you don't need to move from being depressed to absolute, epiphany of joy in your life. It's not going to happen. You need to move up these rungs, move up these ladders. Actually, that's my favorite takeaway from that book. I actually just remember that right now. I'm going to go back and I'm going to read this book. So thank you for letting me share that with you. I think it is a really nice reminder to all of us. Okay, and the last one today is actually a nutritional supplement, and let's go over this right now. So people have been asking me about this specific product that's called UMKA. It's UMKA. Now, so it's called Pelargonium sedotes, and Pelargonium sedotes is actually, it's African geranium. So this plant, this herb, has actually been used for hundreds of years to treat acute bronchitis and respiratory issues. So like, let's say you have a chronic cough and you just can't get rid of it, but it's mucus-based, it's phlegm-based. Not a chronic cough like a dry cough. This is more mucus-based. Again, the acute bronchitis, the inflammation in the lungs. They've actually shown, this is clinically documented, that this particular root, this particular product, I should say plant, not roots, has been shown to lessen the duration of acute bronchitis or respiratory issues in general. Not quite half, but close, by about half the time. That's impressive. That's enough for me to say, okay, let's look at this product and let's put it to good use. Now, UMKA, UMKA, they're not the only one. I'm going to link up the name. Again, it's Pelargonium sedotes. And again, it's that African geranium plant. That's just the specific name. And it's ground up into a powder. It's used as tincture. You can use it a bunch of different ways. And what it does is it actually helps to, it's almost like an expectorant. It helps to break it up. It helps to loosen the mucus. It helps decrease the inflammation. And it has been clinically proven to work. So again, I've been getting a lot of questions about my immune-based protocols, but my immune protocol is right on the website. Just go to stephencabral.com/store. You can see my children's immune-based protocol, which will be coming up. I know someone asked me that question on the Cabral House Call. That will be coming up in a few weeks. But really, you can just go to stephencabral.com/store, go under the wellness or under the supplements, and just go to the adult protocol, and there's a children's protocol. It's what I use myself. It's what I use for my children. But then I also will add other products on top of that if after 2 to 3 days I don't see that cold breaking or whatever it might be. So again, for my children, we have something for sore throats. We have something for the ears. We have something for all those things. And we'll be putting more of those on the website. But really what you have right now is exactly what I use and have been recommending for 4 years of my practice. I'll just add more to it as needed. And this is one of those things, like if you have the chest congestion, well, you use the adult-based immune protocol, and then you'll add this on top of it if after 3 days you start to get more of that heavy chest congestion. So hopefully this helps. I don't want to make these long episodes, so I think those 3 are enough for today. Great book review. So that's one that I highly recommend. The Meat-Free Mondays, it's a challenge. And I know that you can do it. If you've never gone a day without eating meat, you have to try it. You have to do it. I mean, you really do. It's one of the easiest ways to really lighten your body, to ease up on the digestive system, and just to try something new, try new foods, and try something different for your body. You may really enjoy it. A lot of people that I have really move away from a lot of meat in their diet. They just feel so much better. And then of course, you have this nutritional supplement. So, we're in the springtime in New England, and this is a very damp time of the year, especially moving into the spring in general. So we're obviously tail end of winter, moving into spring. Boston's getting a blizzard, or got a blizzard this week. So, we're not out of it yet, but this is certainly a time of the year where there's a lot of chest congestion. So besides doing our adult immune-based protocol, do feel free to add this product in as well. Thank you, everyone. Take care, and I look forward to speaking with you this weekend on the Cabral House Call weekend shows.
Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to stephencabral.com/resources.